This project, like the project of doing project-based learning, I did it during my second year as a teacher. So I was still learning how to be a teacher, but that also meant that I, wasn't set in my ways and I felt free to explore. And luckily, I was given that opportunity at the institution that I was at. It's all about student choice, and giving students freedom and space to decide what they want to do. And that's terrifying because you have no idea what they're going to do. And I'm the kind of person who likes to have a very clear plan, set out, lesson planning and all of that. I love that. So the first part of the semester was a little bit more traditionally set up, because I wanted to have a good kind of foundation to build the project on. And so for my class, I started with the foundation of this problem. So the problem that I chose was the problem of cultural or societal wide anxiety. And I framed it using the frame of the Cold War era of like the 1950s and 60s. Anxieties about communism and communists coming over and taking over the country and nuclear war. And so then I had my students try to think, like, translate that to today. Like, what are some things that people today are concerned about? So things like climate change and LGBTQ rights, also nuclear war to some extent. We started working on like solutions. Like, how do we not necessarily solve that problem that is causing that anxiety, but how do we solve those social, society level anxieties? And there are two ways to do that. You can either actually fix the problem that's causing the anxiety, or you can convince people that it's not something worth being concerned with. An example of that would be something like, marriage equality. Like, gay people getting married is not going to dissolve the family unit. Like, this is not, that's not something you need to be concerned with. So with that foundation in place, the foundation of, then I had my students choose a problem, like a modern anxiety problem, and then decide whose problem it was. So that would be like their audience. Who are the people who are concerned about whatever problem it is that you chose? So then we could ask, like, how do you reach this person? And that's how you can bring in some of those rhetorical skills. And then you can actually start creating the project by choosing what medium, like, how are you going to reach these people? Like, physically, how are you going to reach them? What does a successful product look like? And then, doing the research and making the thing and sharing it with your classmates and revising it. And at the end of the semester, we had basically like a party, essentially, where all of the groups shared their projects. And, some people had made PSA style YouTube videos. Several had made posters and put them up across campus. There was one group who, they were so awesome. Their cultural issue that they decided to tackle was young people not voting. And that was actually during a midterm election year, which, has even lower turnout, especially among younger people. Their project was to set up a table in the university cafeteria with like laptops set up so students could take I don't think it was the political compass test. I think it was the like I side with test, so that they could see which candidates they were most aligned with. And then they also had another laptop set up to help them get registered to vote. And so they like got people registered to vote on our campus, and like it's super great. The final part of the project was to write a justification and reflection. And the justification is like, what are the choices you made to create this project and why? And then the reflection is, how well do you think you did? You set these goals for yourself. You created this rubric. Do you think you met it? And what grade do you think you deserve for this and why? So as you can see, like, every single step of this is the student's choice. They got to decide the problem, the solution, the audience, the medium. Like, there were so many rubrics a different rubric for videos versus for posters versus for, social media campaigns. And there were some that like I had not even thought of. Like one group they made a music video to support marriage equality, and it honestly it made me cry. It was so wonderful. It was beautiful. But like, how do you grade that? Like I couldn't have guessed that anyone would do something like that. And so while it is scary and uncomfortable and again terrifying, it was also exciting because you see these young people given, some of them for the first time, the opportunity to really be creative and engaged and do something that they want and that they have, come up with on their own. And to see them get so passionate about it and do such a good job with it, that makes all of the scariness worth it, I think.